Probably, right? BiLLy J Kramer. I mean, you're pretty legendary. Is that correct? I feel very lucky to have you sitting next to us right now.
Thank you very much.
So you were around during all that hoopla.
Yes, I was.
And you were part of it, weren't you?
I was part of it, yes.
Yes, and what do you remember from it?
Not a lot.
That's good. That means you had a good time,
I
right?
had a good time. It was a very exciting part of my career and a lot of fun.
So were you like in a band parallel to the Beatles? Like what was it?
I was playing in a band around Liverpool at the same time, and I'll take this one.
I'm always loud no matter what.
And then, you know, Brian Epstein was managing the Beatles, and I was about to quit the whole thing, and he came along and offered me a contract.
Now, why were you about to quit? Were you frustrated, like a...
No, I wasn't frustrated. I was an engineer. And
Really?
Yes, and I was going to go away for a year to work at Rolls-Royce, and
Whoa!
and I had this big decision to make.
Wow!
Wow, yeah.
So, did you, you know, do you know the difference? I lived in London, and somebody once told me the difference between a Rolls-Royce and a Bentley. Do you know? I wonder if it's the same
there's
thing.
no lot of difference.
I heard that
It's what?
you can drive a Bentley yourself, but if you're in a Rolls, you should have a driver. That's what they told me.
Well, it wasn't fun working on them things.
No. Wow. Did you get to drive some?
No, I never drove a car till I was 42.
Really?
No, I was, you know, always very
So were
busy.
you here by then?
No, I wasn't. I came here, obviously, I did Ed Sullivan show and things like that in the 60s.
Right. What was that like?
If I'd have known how many people were watching, I think I'd have run down the street.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to Ed?
Not much, no.
No?
No, he wasn't very tall.
He didn't socialize a lot.
Topo Gigio?
No.
No?
Did you come to the States with Brian before the Beatles?
I came before the BeaTLeS, yes.
So what was the occasion?
I just came to promote a record I had at the time. And I think he was negotiating Ed Sullivan and that kind of thing.
So did you go back and tell them all about the excitement of New York?
Yes, I did. And I brought a lot of records back and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And you did some songs that the Beatles did first, didn't you?
No, I actually recorded the song "Do You Want to Know a Secret?"
Yeah, Do I Do, right?
Yeah, well, that was my first record in England.
Can you sing it now? Just a little?
Listen, do you want to know a secret?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great, though. Woo!
And you know, that was my first record, and I was the first person I ever hit record with a Beatles song apart from them.
Wow.
And that was before they brought it out themselves.
Now, who wrote that?
That was John Lennon and Paul McCartney.
Now, did they write it together for sure? Because, like, didn't they have to say they wrote it together?
I think they wrote that together.
You do?
Then the next one was the song called "Bad to Me," which John Lennon wrote.
Okay.
And that was a big hit for me too.
Wow. So, were you on top of the Pops? And
I was
stuff?
on top of the Pops. And,
American Bandstand?
not American. I was on Shindig and Hullabaloo.
Okay.
And the Tommy Show. And
Wow.
the
All the
London
girls
Palladium. And I did all the shows all over.
What were you wearing? Because you're looking really good now. You still dress up every day?
No, I dressed up just especially for you.
Oh.
I did like a series of tours with the Beatles. They did a week in every city in England, and I did that. And then I did Finsbury Park, Astoria for 6 weeks. I did over 100 shows with them. And,
Wow.
wow, yeah.
Wait, now, there was some girl, oh gosh, I'm going to space out on her name. She was in movies, and the Beatles opened for her. Do you remember who?
It was Helen Shapiro.
Helen Shapiro,
Yes.
yeah. Did you know her?
I know her, yeah. She's a nice girl.
My bass player actually was watching a movie the other day,
And she's in it, yeah.
she's in it. He said,
Yeah.
you have to watch it. I think Amy Winehouse was
Walking back to happiness.
Yeah.
That was their record, yeah.
Right. And do you think Amy Winehouse kind of like modeled after her?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No, because Amy Winehouse is a completely different kind of singer.
Okay.
Helen was a shredder. Well, she did a bit of blues later on, but she started off more as pop, you know.
So were you friends with her?
I said hello to her.
Okay. All right, that works.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now? You have a new album
I
out.
have a new album out. And I'm doing the BeaTLeS FesT.
Now, are you a huge fan of the Beatles?
Absolutely, who wasn't? You know,
exactly.
I think the Beatles were the greatest thing that ever happened.
You do?
In the music was definitely, and they gave me a great start. John Lennon came up with the name of BiLLy J Kramer.
Oh yeah, how'd you get that name?
I'm not telling you.
That's okay. That's
No,
all right.
No, Brian just called me into his office one day and said, John, it's a suggestion. And I said, what is it? And he said, why don't you call yourself BiLLy J? Because it'll give it more of a, you know,
Rocker.
Then people out there buying records will catch on to it easier. So I said, I'll take that, thank you.
Ah, so what were you before? Just BiLLy Kramer?
I was BiLLy Kramer. My real name is William Howard Ashton, and sometimes I wished I would have kept it.
What is it?
William Howard Ashton.
It sounds so sophisticated.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's true.
Yeah, but...
It sounds very Rolls Royce.
No, but, you know, I was with this band and they said, you know, you gotta have a name, everybody's gotta have a name, and I said, well, as long as it's BiLLy something, I don't care.
Okay.
And they came up with BiLLy Kramer, and then John said it sounds too ordinary, so
Oh, but you kept it.
I kept it BiLLy J. Yeah.
So did you have any like favorite moments with the Beatles?
I think one of my favorite moment really was when I went to Abbey Road Studios and I was 20, and John Lennon sat at the piano and played the song "Bread to Me." And then he said, I want your opinion on this next song, and he played I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Wow.
And I said, can I have that one?
And what'd they say?
He said, we'll do that ourselves.
Sorry.
But that was a very magical moment for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, I Want to Hold Your Hand was a big hit.
Yeah, it sure was.
Sure
Say
was.
that.
Yeah.
That's an
Right?
understatement.
Yeah. So, what songs are the titles of on this? What tracks?
On this song, on
Yeah.
this, there's I Won the Fight, which is the title track.
Okay. Did you? Which fight was it?
I won them all.
Good for you.
There's a lot of songs. There's a Beatles song which I did in the '60s with John, but never ever finished it. So I did it for the CD. It's called I'm in Love.
Huh.
There's a song called Liverpool with Love, which I wrote. It's a sort of autobiographical type of song which mentions the fact that Brian Epstein at the time was not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
You
which
did a
I
lot
thought
of
was a
campaigning for
travesty.
that.
And that's one song. It's a song called Breakfast in Marin. You're Right, I'm Wrong. It's
Oh, that's a smart title.
yeah, it sure is.
Gosh, you're a smart man. Wow. So you live in New York now,
Yes,
and you've been here a long time?
I'm not telling you.
Well, I just want to know, like, which side of the street is easier for you to drive on?
I never drove in England.
Oh, okay.
I was always, I used to go to a lot of nightclubs and stay out all night, so I thought I'd be safer if I got a cab.
Smart. Those cabs are so cool over there too.
Sure.
Do they have cabs like that in Liverpool?
No, they didn't.
They don't. Only London.
Only London, yes.
So it is National Corn Chip Day,
Right.
and we would love you to have corn chip or a
Okay.
handful. You can have as many as you want.
All right.
For a skeleton from your closet. I know you've been thinking about it, and
If you tell.
it's good. Terrible words.
Well, I was on the road doing this tour, and I was very drunk one night,
Okay.
and I got up and I peed in a wardrobe.
Into the closet, you mean?
Yeah,
I know. You call it a wardrobe.
yeah.
Were there a lot of clothes in there?
Pardon?
Were there a lot of clothing in
All
there?
mine, yeah.
Oh! Wow. Did you even realize it until the next day?
No, I didn't realize till the next day.
But you did, was it wet still? It had to be dry, so like how did you ever know?
Because I went to pack and I found out.
So it was like in a hotel.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Never
great.
told a hotel though.
Of course not, of course not. That's pretty funny. So what's your website and how do people find you?
I hope they don't find it. No.
No, of course
my
they will.
website is BiLLyJKramer.com.
Okay, and what are you doing with this Beatles Fest for
I'm
Beatles
going to be
fans?
doing a concert in the afternoon, on the Sunday afternoon.
This coming Sunday?
No, on the Sunday of the 9th.
The 9th.
February 9th.
At 3:30 in the afternoon, when I'm going to be doing some of these new songs and
Nice.
some of the Lennon McCartney songs that are recorded.
Ah,
Yeah.
and where is that?
It's
At the Grand
Grand
Hyatt.
Hyatt? Okay,
Hyatt, yes.
right there,
Lexington Avenue and 42nd Street.
right
Yeah.
by Grand Central.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's when you're driving.
Can I have a bit sure?
Oh, yeah. The Grand Hyatt, it's a
You want
great
another
hotel.
skeleton?
If you want to.
No.
If you want. So what's your favorite moment, like, since you've been to America? Do you love living here so much?
My favorite moment?
Yeah.
Uh,
What made you, like, really, like, decide to change habitats?
I met somebody that I love very much.
That makes sense. Aww. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good. So would you like to push a button?
Can I push your one?
I think maybe. It sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds right. So, is there anything else you'd like to share?
No.
You think you're good?
Do you think?
So, do you think you're going to make another album?
I'm going to see what this one does. I mean, I'm very proud of this album.
That's great.
It's. I think it's one of the best things I've done, and I just have to wait and see.
So wait, when you were with the Beatles, when you were all kids together,
Yes.
like when you did you go out for lunch and stuff?
No, we were mostly on the road. You know, people don't realize it wasn't all fun. You know.
Of course not.
Because there was that much hysteria going on. There was always screaming. You know, you get off a coach and you get into the theatre, there'd be screaming girls and they'd scream all night long outside the theatre.
Did they scream for you too?
Absolutely.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
That must have been crazy.
It was. I thought it was crazy.
Yeah. Did you ever bring the girls on the bus and stuff?
No, I was a good boy.
That's good.
No, it was, people don't realize it was like you were like you got into a theatre, you had to fight your way out, fight your way into the hotel. It was the same the next morning when you got up, there was all kids around the hotels and,
Do you think it's the same today for the people that are like huge stars, like, or is it different?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's good. But you're happy it happened, right?
I'm happy it happened, and I had a lot of fun, and it was a great time. And I just, I'm just into making good records and entertaining people and
That's
making people happy. That's all.
That's
What
good.
a charmed life.
Sounds good.
Pardon me?
A charmed life.
I don't think it's a charmed life. I've worked very hard.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So what would you tell someone who has the dream?
That's the dream. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will say, that my father, was just a dock worker, but when I went home and told him that Brian Epstein wanted to manage me, and he just said, if you don't do it, you may have living with regrets.
Oh, good for your father.
So,
Good for him. Good for him. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for visiting.
Thank you.
BiLLy J Kramer.
Thank you.
Yes, the legend. Thank you.
Weapon was hidden from my view. It took